Hello, this video is about update 5.10.0. I want to go through the changes with you. I didn't get a heads up in advance, so I didn't get the change before the update went live, meaning I could not record specific before and after footage, but I'm gonna try to find clips to visualize the changes as much as I can. I'm covering this update because it's quite an interesting one and it has major changes, not many changes, but very major ones. So the first big one that they start the update patch note with, they are removing the stun gun temporarily. So I figure they are just cutting their losses. They are like, yeah, this thing is probably the thing people complain the most about, and you know about it if you go on Reddit or the official Discord. That's like half the posts there. People constantly complain about it, but some people will say it's OP, they quit the game because of it, it's too oppressive, and some people will say it's useless, it's not meta, and they never use it, or they never lose to it. So it's a spectrum, but it's an issue in itself. If half the player base hates it and is unable to counter it, and the other half says it's useless, there is a big issue, and that's what they are addressing. So stun gun is gone, not forever, it's coming back, it's getting reworked, but for now it's disabled, you cannot use it anymore. Then they are promoting the AMA, that's happening a few hours after this video gets posted, and you can ask the dev team about anything you want. So I advise you make a Reddit account if you don't have one, and you participate by asking some questions. We have new cosmetics in the shop, they are very CNS themed, they look very, very cool, so it's a cool shop. Yeah, that mask is really cool. So now let's start with the first change they listed. It's not a big one. They decreased the priming time from 1.9 seconds to 1.5 seconds, which means when you will throw your breach charges, you will be able to activate them sooner than you could before. Now, a major change that shakes up the meta of the game and will maybe make you change your build is a change to the frag grenade. The biggest change to it, in my opinion, is they decreased the ammo, or like the charges, from 2 to 1. So now you can only throw one frag grenade before you go on cooldown and need to wait for it to recharge to be able to throw a second one. This is a big change because unlike other offensive grenades, the frag grenade was the only one with 2 charges for some reason. So why did the frag grenade have 2 charges, especially when it did up to 150 damage, which means you could do 300 damage in like 2 seconds. So that was crazy. I think this is a great change. Now, they also decreased the damage from 150 max to 140. As you may know, you could like leave light players at 1 HP with your frag grenades most of the time. That's because if you want to actually die as a light from a frag grenade, you will need to be standing exactly on top of it or crouching very, very close to it. So your like center of body will be close enough to it to kill you, I believe. Now you will not be able to one-shot any player with a single frag grenade, and you can only throw one at once. Another very interesting change is that they buffed the environmental damage, which means frag grenades will more easily destroy floors, walls, etc. I don't know if environmental damage includes damage done to enemy deployables, so I don't know if you can destroy barricades more easily. I don't know if you can destroy turrets more easily. I'm not sure how that works. So yeah, these changes make sense to me. I like them, but at the end of this paragraph here, they add something. Additionally, our goal is to increase the readability of grenades in the future, which should help alleviate some of the frustration. To me, that announces basically that they will add grenade indicators in the future, which I'm not a fan of. I really like how in the finals we don't have that, but I think this is quite the same issue as with the stun gun. Some experienced players will hear the grenade being thrown, they will recognize the specific sound it makes, and they will hear the grenade impacting the ground next to them, like making a noise when it touches the ground or a surface. They like it as a way of having a skill ceiling, like are you able to hear the grenade being thrown? Are you able to hear it being put down? Meaning, are you able to react to it by running away, creating cover with goo, placing down a barricade, data reshaping it, etc.? But for some other players who do not care about developing such skills and having such reflexes, or don't have them, or cannot keep up with this level of required skill, and who are used to games like Call of Duty, for example, where when a grenade is close to you, you have an indicator showing you the location it's at and basically allowing you to run away from it more easily. It's not in the game yet, actually, they are just teasing it, but yeah, it's kind of like the stun gun. You have to care about your good players and the players that are more casual. So it kinda makes sense to me. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Grenade and indicators are probably coming in the future. At least that's my interpretation of this. Oh, if you had questions about the stun gun's cosmetics, it will come back and you will not have lost your cosmetics and your progress for that gadget. Now, a big pain point of the mid-season update was that they changed the logic of how you could cancel some animations by quick milling to, for example, skip cocking back your gun or reloading some of the guns or performing some manual actions on your gun. It's not possible anymore. You cannot skip these animations anymore. But this induced an animation issue where for some weapons, you will, for example, quick melee, then put out your gun again, and your character will wait like half a second or a solid second before actually continuing the animations that you had tried to cancel with the quick melee, which added some like unintentional delay and was extremely frustrating, reduced the TTK on some weapons, time to kill, sorry. So apparently that's way better now. They say this update should help improve that. We're still reviewing manual actions and looking for ways to make them smoother while keeping them balanced. Now, they fixed an animation bug where some contestant could be stuck in a T-pose when emoting. That's so funny. I wish I knew how to do it myself before it was gone because it was so cool. Now, a very interesting change that if you haven't read the patch note or have not paid attention to it, it might be like, it might bother you or you might wonder where the hell that's coming from. They added a headshot elimination sound. So now, when you get a headshot kill, it will make a new sound. It's quite satisfying. Like, it will take some time to get used to, but I like the concept of telling me with an audio feedback, a sound effect feedback, that I got a headshot kill. They say they updated the hand model to a new improved version, significantly more realistic and detailed, enhancing the overall immersion. Tell me if you notice. They made some bug fixes to the controller when navigating the menus. They fixed hairstyle compatibility with some of the cosmetics. They fixed a bug where destroying certain friendly gadgets incorrectly granted combat score. I was not aware of this issue. I had never heard of this bug before. That's very interesting. It reminds me, I still don't know if it's fixed. I mentioned it in a previous video. You used to be able to gain XP by flashing and glitching your own teammates. I don't know if it's fixed yet. I need to try again. Resolved issues preventing item use, including weapons not dealing damage and grenades for failing to explode. Yeah, we have quite a few bugs in the games that like prevent you from firing your gun sometimes. Actually, it happened to me on Light. I think it's also related to like when you pick stuff up, like canisters and stuff. If you are in the middle of a reload animation or something, you could get stuck, like unable to use your weapons. Stuff like that. I don't know if that's what's been fixed, but yeah, at least some bugs are getting squashed. Doors now open automatically at lower sprint speeds, making movement smoother. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to make that obvious on video, but that's cool. You don't need to be at full speed to slam open doors anymore. You will be able to slam them open at lower speeds, so you will bump into doors less often. I don't feel like that's an issue I had, but I guess it's always cool to have that. Cash out stations can now be vaulted and climbed on, so that's quite cool. If you had never noticed, you were until now unable to climb on the cash out stations. I don't know if it was a bug that they took that long to fix or if it was intended, but I feel like it's more logical this way because the finals is a game where you can do anything you want. If you can think about it, you should do it. So I think if you see a box, you should be able to climb on it, right? Fixed an issue where some grenades and projectiles were larger than intended. Example, dome shield, anti-grav cube, goo projectiles. I wonder if they are talking about the goo guns projectiles that were unintentionally made bigger by making the CL-40 projectiles bigger. So I guess they also accidentally made anti-grav grenades and dome shield bigger in that update. So these unintentional changes should be reverted now. Oh, they finally fixed the bugs that will cause you to go like minus 246 seconds left to respawn, which made no sense. And so some people were just stuck in the respawn state, and the timer, instead of counting down to 0, will just go in the negatives and keep counting down in the negatives. I never had this happen to me. I'm so sorry for everyone who experienced that, but apparently it's gone now. This update brought a lot of bugs. From my recording session for the footage for this video, I noticed that in the main menu, when players are marked as in the main menu, they are actually in the main menu, but if they are marked as in menu, then they are actually in a game, so that's annoying. In the training range, we now have only enemy dummies. The friendly dummies are enemies now. One of them doesn't have a gun, and the other has a gun and can shoot you now, so he used to be our friend, now he can kill us, which is weird. And as I was gonna export this video, someone in my server pinged me, and actually they have only friendly dummies, they don't have enemy dummies in their training range, so I think there must be a bug related to the team you get put on, and you are not in the correct team, or like the dummies are not in the correct team, I don't know. But you can have all friendly dummies and all enemy dummies now, so yeah. Embark! They fixed an issue where in the final round of the tournaments, you could change your loadout after dying, which was unintended, and you were able to do something to change your specialization somehow, which is supposed to be locked. So apparently that should be fixed now. They fixed a few map issues on Bernal, and one of them is they fixed 2 instances where multiple doors were overlapping in the same location. There were 2 doors inside of each other, and even there was a door that led to a wall, and you could open the door from the other side. We actually discovered this with Marshall when testing stuff for like the logbolts test video, I think, so quite a long time ago. But apparently it's now fixed. Bernal should not have weird doors inside walls and inside other doors anymore. They had fixed Kyoto to make the description more consistent or something before, but some players complained that it was actually way too much and Kyoto was like made out of paper now. Apparently they fixed at least one of the issues that was causing that. Oh, and they fixed a very fun bug that I got happening to me on Twitch the other day. So if you played Power Shifts recently and you got the Kyoto map, sometimes you would notice that one of your teammates, upon spawning in the initial spawn phase, one of your teammates will spawn alone in the bamboo forest. That must have been caused by like they changed the spawn points, but one of the old spawn points was forgotten there or something like that. And it's now fixed, so you will always spawn with your team now. They fixed floating props in the Skyway Stadium market, not sure what that was. Updated AMD FSR resolution scaling method to version 3.1.3. Wait, Kian Floppa is gonna be happy about this one. Is he gonna start spamming about version 4 or something now? Yeah, maybe you have seen that guy spamming about AMD FSR 3.1 everywhere. That's funny. So it's finally here, guys. Winchclaw updated the underlying physics of pulled objects, which should make their behaviors more consistent when dragged by the winchclaw. Not too sure what that means. Reduce the amount of physic force pulled object can apply to world objects, preventing them from launching items like the cash station across long distance. Okay, so if you want to know exactly what they fixed here, you can go watch Truce's video about it. He made a very cool and short video where he showed that if you grabbed an object that was right behind the cash station, for example, and you pulled it towards you, you will actually launch the cash out station, for example. So that was cool, but obviously not intended and quite OP, and it's gone now. But thankfully, we have Truce's video to remember these good old days. They fixed an issue where some elements of the player cards were not rendered correctly. So I've seen quite a few screenshots of people having like a fully white, like 100% white character on their player card, or no character at all, or like you were missing your face cover, your mask, etc. on your player card. So this should be fixed now. They changed the way the keybinds are displayed for controllers. So now you have a big weird wheel thingy that takes a lot of place. I've actually been pinged about this quite a few times already because people find it horrible. I agree that it takes way too much place, so I don't really like this, but I don't play on a controller, so I don't care. Let's go! Oh, they fixed something I forgot to make a video about. This is a very old bug where when you die and you are wearing certain cosmetics, they will just hang like in the air or float or slide on the ground and stuff like that. I think I have footage to show you though. But yeah, it's gone now. Sad. Fixed an issue where indestructible objects did not display a visual effect on melee impact to indicate their indestructibility. So basically now if you quick melee the floor on an indestructible floor, or if you quick melee, for example, the yellow containers that cannot be destroyed, you will have a little mesh effect that indicates that this surface cannot be broken. And finally, they made changes to security and anti-cheat. The link to the patch note is in the description if you want to go inspect it for yourself. There will be also a link to Truce's video about the winchclaw bugs that got fixed. Thank you to my channel members. I'm so Confucius and TJ. Good luck for your next match, and I will see you at the finals.